Morning, friends. Now we are discussing approaches to supply chain management, vendor rating, and e-procurement. So we have two types of approaches to supply chain management. One is multiple sourcing, that is the traditional approach. Then single approach. So that is the recent trend. So multiple sourcing. So here, as a buyer, I am dealing with many suppliers here. But if we single approach, so as a buyer, so I am dealing with only one supplier. So if we go for multiple sourcing, so it will set up a competitive situation among the vendors. So since as a buyer I am dealing with many vendors, so there will be competition among the vendors. So that I am going to finalize the contract with a particular vendor who has quoted the lowest bid. But there is no such situation with single approach. So no conflict with the suppliers. So since in multiple sourcing there are so many suppliers involved, so I am engaging in price negotiation with all the suppliers. But in single approach, so I am engaging in only the cost reduction exercise with one single vendor. So in multiple sourcing, I am withholding my business information with all the suppliers. But here in single approach, so I am having business with one single supplier, so I can exchange the relevant information and I can obtain the better gains. So better gains will be there from both the sides. Since here several suppliers are involved in multiple sourcing, excessive follow-up is required. But here only with one single vendor I am doing the business, so very little follow-up is sufficient. So here the suppliers are many more. So there is no commitment and loyalty because the suppliers are suffering from uncertainty. So they are not doing any commitments and they are not loyal to the buyer. So here I am dealing with one single supplier. So I am giving sufficient information about the future business prospects. So there will be committed supplier. So increased commitment from the supplier. So here in multiple sourcing, there will be fear among the suppliers of losing the customer. But since I am dealing the business with one single supplier, so mutual benefit and cooperation will be there. So vendor certification. So it is an important activity for any organization so that it ensures the smooth supply of the raw materials, spare parts or other components from the vendors. If the vendor rating or vendor certification is not done properly, so it is very risky to stick on to a particular single vendor. So vendor certification program will reassess the very important aspects before doing the business with the single supplier. So the procedure to be followed in this vendor certification program is like this. First, the supplier capability with respect to the finance and equipment will be thoroughly evaluated so that my future needs as a buyer will be met in time. So that whatever equipments the supplier possess or what is his financial capabilities will be evaluated. So as a buyer I am going to analyze the balance sheets of that particular vendor in the past years so that any possibility of that vendor going for bankruptcy will be assessed. So I am studying the capacity of my supplier with respect to the quality assurance that is the quality check of the raw materials or spare parts what he is going to supply, and what is the competency of his staff in manufacturing the raw materials, spare parts and other components required. The cost structure, quality and delivery parameters, whether he is capable of delivering the materials or the quality what he has assured in the contract agreement, what is the price he has quoted. So everything will be reassessed so that if cost will be reduced in future or quality will be improved or delivery time can be shortened. So any improvement chances will be there, so that reassessment will be done using this vendor certification program. So supplier evaluation criteria, whether he is capable of doing e-commerce business capability is there, price, quality and delivery criteria, then financial stability, then total quality performance, then long-term relationship potentiality is there or not, so that we can trust and depend on the supplier, so that zero defect delivery will be made possible to the buyer. E-procurement. Over the years, more and more companies and millions of individuals are involved in e-business. So the most biggest beneficiary of this e-business in the supply chain management is especially in the area of purchase. So that is leading to the concept of e-procurement. So this e-procurement will denote a set of strategies employed by a company. Everything will be done electronically, so that it will identify the appropriate vendors. So finalization of trade terms and placing the purchase orders without having physical communication with the vendors. So the possible vendors will be and we are making the trade agreements with the shortlisted candidates, and moving on to the sole vendor and placing the purchase order with him. Everything will be done electronically. Then the suppliers and buyers will be brought to the common platform, so that there will be no monopoly, no manipulation, no brokers or any intermediaries. So buyers and suppliers will be brought to the common platform. So direct selling is going to happen. Then to help the suppliers so that they will reach their customers in any corner of the globe. Thank you.